until after the drivers' meeting is complete. Tonight, there will be 190 laps with stages at 25 and 65. We have no faster pairs, and you have 4 sets of tires. A few things to note: the only black flags that will be clear are passing under yellow due to wrecked cars and wrecking into the pits. We will not clear black flags for speeding through the pits or unsafe pit entry or exit. During the restart, keep the pack tightened up. Laying back on the restart will result in a penalty. When taking the green flag, you must maintain your line until you cross the start-finish line. With that, everybody, have a good race tonight. Good luck. Good evening, DES race fans, friends, family, to another beautiful premiere race here. This is race 5 with the DES Premier Truck Series. Tonight, we are going to have 190 laps at Iowa Speedway. Joining me tonight, as always, I got Jonathan Medlin. How are you doing, man?
Doing wonderful. How are you doing this evening, Christian?
Dude, excited about this race. I love these short track races. Also joining me tonight is Edwin Warren. He's going to be doing the starting lineup. How are you, Edwin?
Oh, I'm feeling great. I think this is going to be a wonderful race. Iowa always puts on a great show.
Yeah, it's going to be an entertaining one for sure. And a special guest joining us tonight is a fellow driver, beer run teammate of mine, is the number 6, Ryan. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm happy to be here once again as a special guest. Thank you for introducing me.
Awesome. We're going to go ahead and get with that starting lineup, Edwin.
Yes, sir. And starting P1 is going to be John Crosby, very strong driver here, and he's going to have Ben Kuhn to his inside. There's your first TRN guy. Next, we've got Jonathan Guy starting P3. This is a new look for him, going all the way up in the front, so he's showing some real speed. Then we've got Tyler Waltz in P4, another extremely fast driver. We got Mark Holloway, one of the Mr. Consistencies out there. He's going to be starting P5. Charles Connor, a short track master, is going to be starting P6. And we got Todd Perrant, one of the best characters in DES. He's going to be in P7 with Chuck Burley, the silent threat on the track all the time, starting in P8. And we got Sean Dion in that beautiful number 3, starting P9, and Brandon Hinton, our last season champion in 2 different series, starting P10. And then bringing up the rear, we've got Mr. Craig Knoll. He will be back there to try and see if he can make his way towards the front.
Yeah, this is going to be an exciting race.
Oh, sorry about that. We got one guy who did not qualify. Let's see. It looks like a few guys didn't. We've got Judson Curtis, Matthew Tennant, Brian Souza. They did not elect to qualify.
Yeah, it looks like we are going to have some pretty good guys up here in the front. We got 73 John Crosby showing some real speed, getting that pole position. He's been winning a lot here this season already. On his outside, Ben Kuhn, TRN driver, he's been like really showing some improvement out there with a bunch of speed. Let's see if he can keep that up and go for some good long runs tonight. And I'm happy to see the 32. He's been working really hard, been putting in a lot of laps. He also hosts some practice races for everybody throughout the week to practice some of these tracks. So let's see if all that practice he's done has paid off.
Green flag comes out, and it looks like Crosby's going to get a real good jump. 32 kind of sleeping on the start. He's going to drop all the way back down to P4. We've got Ben Kuhn into the P2 position. And then we have Tyler Waltz rounded out in the top 3. Now, they're going to have to be careful because the exit of these corners are sketchy, man.
Man, this first lap is extremely important, especially on a short track like this where you're going to have a bunch of big groups that are going to be fighting each other, and it's just a hard track to be consistent without, getting loose or getting up into the wall. So that first lap there where everybody's trying to gain position, it's super important. So you hate to see some people lose positions here because of a bad restart, but it does happen.
And we got a battle back there for the P4 position already brewing up. Looks like TRN teammates are deciding that they want to try and fight each other for that position. The 67 has gotten past the 32, and the 32 was poking that nose under him, but he has fallen behind him now.
Yeah, the 32's an extremely patient driver. He's going to play it smart, and he's going to play it safe for the most part until he really has to push it. And the 67, he gets loose, but he saves it. Just goes down to the apron. We stay green.
Beautiful save by him. I mean, how do you even manage to save like that we're going to reach out to our other broadcasters, Jonathan or Ryan. How do you think he saved that thing?
Just, not trying to overreact, not trying to overcorrect. Instead of getting on the brakes, just lifting, letting the truck slow down, then kind of easing the brake down, maintain control of it, and then get it down on the apron, keep anybody else from getting hit, and then slowly work his way back onto the track.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with Jonathan here. I think the only thing you can do in that situation is just let off and hope to God you can keep her straight and save it. But he did a beautiful job there. And a couple seconds ago, Ben Kuhn got loose too. So it's just a weird track. It's hard to drive here, and these guys are doing really good.
Yeah, even the leader just got loose on exit of turn 4 right there, but he's trying to check out on these guys. He's trying to put a good gap. He's almost got a second on Ben Kuhn right now.
Yeah, this field has spread out quite a bit. You really have 6th through 10th are in a big pocket. They're going to be battling for position a lot. You got the 4 just looking like he's trying to make a move on the 5, but unable to get it done because the 69 is there as well. But these guys are in the middle towards the back here. They're going to be fighting for a lot of position. And do you think that's going to just continue to make that gap grow with these front runners?
Yeah, most definitely. The front runners are just lapping right now. The rest of them are battling, changing lanes, and doing all extra kind of work. So they're working a lot harder than the front runners are. The front runners have the ability to just keep going. They just put their foot down and keep in motion the way they want to.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I think it's an amazing feeling when you're running with nobody around you, but you can look on your relative and see that you got a pack fighting behind you and a pack fighting somewhere in front of you, so you know that you're not going to have to defend here for a while, and you got that open track. Run your line, stay consistent, and you can catch up to those guys fighting up front.
Yeah, and I'm watching our front runners right now. They've really definitely got those gaps, and looking at their times, they are, all the way down to Mark Holloway. The first car who's in this battling group is Todd Perrant, and he's at 24 seconds on his last lap. He is 2/10 slower than Mark Holloway, who's by himself, who is a 10th slower than Geis, who is 3/10 slower than Waltz, and then those front 3 are within a 10th of each other. So definitely being in that group, having somebody on your tail is causing them to back up a bit.
Yeah, for sure. And I've noticed that the 4 here is running hot tonight. He finally did make that pass on the 5. Now he's making a move to the outside, or the inside rather, of the 69 here. Going to try and outbrake him in that corner and get it done here. And I think he's going to be able to catch up to the car in front of him. That's 56 of Mark Holloway. Pay attention to him. I think he's going to make quick work of catching up.
You think he was able to make that pass like that because it was a little more on the aggressive side? He threw that thing in there because remember, those guys are former teammates. Todd Perrant stepped away from that team to go be on Hinton Motorsports. Do you think now that they're not teammates, they race each other a little bit harder now?
I always would feel like that little bit of racing harder is going to be there because you don't have that obligation of, hey, that's my teammate anymore. But at the same time, you always show some kind of respect to somebody who is a former teammate of yours. Like you and I, we were teammates for a while. We built some camaraderie. We've shared tips on track and everything. And so there's always going to be that respect factor there. But I'm definitely going to race you harder than I would race Ryan, depending on the situation. If it's last lap and there's a lot on the line, you can race your teammates just a little bit harder than you normally would.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in last lap boys have at it. I don't care if that car has TRN on it, beer run, rat thing. I don't care. I'm racing you hard. But I do agree with you. Throughout the race, there is that respect level. But there's another thing I'm noticing on track. They are running 2 different groups. Some people are higher than others. So, Jonathan or Ryan, do y'all, what line would you prefer if you were out there running Iowa in the truck?
Honestly, I would just run the Brandon Hinton line, just get as low as I possibly can, then on that repave, and just hope something good happens. But It's a rough track to drive, so wherever you can feel comfortable is where you should run.
Yeah, I have to agree. When I ran this track last season, I kind of found myself running a higher line, but I put myself in bad positions in that race and thus had to race harder to get towards the front. And yeah, that higher line does help for that. It gives you that nice little speed boost. But anything after that, you're just hurting your own vehicle at that point.
Yeah, I kind of run a weird line here. In coming in 1 and 2, I kind of diamond it almost, and have a really low exit. But then turns 3 and 4, I usually come in about mid turn and then have a really high exit there as well. So it's really weird. I don't know how to explain it, but there's just so many different ways that you can run this.
We got another battle shaping up. The 4 and the 3, those are two teammates, two rat fake guys. They're shaping up for a battle for P6 right now. Sean Dion has chased him down. Both of them have been moving forward, and they are catching Mark Holloway, but they're now about to start battling each other as well. And they also have Brian Souza in tow trying to get up there as well. One guy I do want to bring up, Brandon Hinton is heading the wrong direction. He is not moving forward anymore.
Yeah, I've seen a couple instances here with the 5 to where I feel like he could have gotten around the 69. Remember, those two are now teammates. They both race for Hinton Motorsports. So I don't know if they're just in communications with each other about, taking it easy and not necessarily blocking everybody, but kind of just holding everybody back and waiting for this first caution to come out for the stage break.
I can respect the drive like that, but they also have to keep in mind they've got 2 other trucks behind him as Craig Noll gets loose and he's going to succeed that position to Charles Connor. But look at that. Charles Connor is now underneath the 5 truck. So that's more positions lost, heading in the wrong direction entirely.
Yeah, I get what you're saying there. He's not going to let it be easy for the 67 to get that pass. He's going to get that run on the outside every single time here. And like you can see there, until the 67 is able to really commit and take that away from him, I don't think the 5 and the 69 have anything to worry about.
Yeah, the 67 is going to have to drive it in there deep to get past that car as we have a caution flag out, stage break number 1.
Coming to the end of our first stage, that is lap 25 of 190. We are going to take a small commercial break. We'll be right back after this pit cycle.
Ship my pants? Right here? Ship my pants? You're kidding.
You can ship your pants right here.
You hear that? I can ship my pants for free.
Wow, I just may ship my pants.
Yeah, ship your pants. Billy, you can ship your pants too.
I can't wait to ship my pants, Dad.
I just shipped my pants, and it's very convenient.
Very convenient.
I just shipped my drawers.
I just shipped my nightie.
I just shipped my bed.
If you can't find what you're looking for in store, we'll find it at Kmart.com right now and ship it to you for free.
Anybody home?
In here.
Whoa, Jenny, is your sister home?
No. But I'm here.
Congratulations. You passed the test.
A test?
I put my sister up to it.
Oh, Jake, you do love me.
Welcome back. While we were away, there was a little finagle here on pit road with the 40. He came in a little bit crooked, sat there for a little bit, then realized that he was not lined up in his pit box to start his tire change there, and so he ended up having to move to adjust. Ryan, how many positions did that cost him, and do you think he's going to be able to recover from that?
Yeah, he dropped all the way to the back, as we can see on the screen, but he's fast, so I imagine he can recover. I don't think he'll get back to where he was, like off rip. Maybe under the next stage break, he'll be back up front, but yeah, there's unfortunate circumstances there, and it's all self-inflicted, which is you just don't like seeing, but he knows how to drive, so I think it'll be a fun thing to watch.
Yeah, and Jonathan right here, we got the 69 is now in the lead, and the 5, his teammate right behind him. You got John Crosby is the first truck with new tires. Do you think this is a good call? I mean, we've seen Hinton Motorsports pull out some wild strategies that have worked for them, them staying out. Do you think that's going to be the right move for them?
You know, the way that Todd and Brandon work together, and as you have coined the nickname for Brandon, the Magic Man, he has a way of making the things that we think is the weirdest work in the most unique way. So, no, I really don't think it's going to hurt him too bad.
I feel inclined to disagree with that. John is insanely fast at this track, as we saw. He had like almost a 3-second lead on the whole field, and not taking tires, and John's on fresh tires. I think John's just going to pass him when he gets an opportunity, but I know Todd and Brandon aren't going to make it easy for him, so it's going to be an exciting restart coming up.
Yeah, they finished just inside the top 10, so I'm not sure if this is going to be a good enough start for them to where them being the only cars to not pit, if that's going to help them stay out long enough to maintain track position that long. As look, the 5's already getting blown by.
And yeah, John's back up front.
Sorry, this track, yeah, it is tire dependent. You do have to have good tires, and they 27 lap old tires going up against fresh rubber. You're just going to see him. Oh, Geist into the wall right in front of the 5 truck, but he is able to keep it moving in the right direction. The next battle we see is Tyler Waltz. He's trying to get past the 69 as well. And look who's already back up to them, trying to get to P5, the 40 car. Very cool.
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything a while ago, but Ben cannot be counted out. He has come a long way over the past several weeks, and he has got a fast truck, and I had the feeling he was going to get back up there pretty quick.
The reverse reward of that, though, is he's pushing hard. That's burning up tires. The next stage break is a while away, so this could be detrimental to him. It could cause him to end up going backwards later on.
That is absolutely wild. He's in 3rd.
Yeah, Todd Perron's kind of stabilized where he's at. He's holding these guys off. You know, Geist wants to get past him, but he's going to do it respectfully. Brandon Hinton is still right there with him, but he's got Charles Connor all over him on his inside. So it's a tight battle right here for that P4 position right now.
See, one thing about Iowa is once you reach a certain point in your tire wear, you level out. You don't just consistently get worse at this track. So once you reach that 25 to 27 laps on your tires, your times are going to stay consistent. Yeah, they're consistently slower than everybody around you, but as long as you can stay that consistent long enough, the 69 and the 5 might actually end up working out here pretty good, because these guys are going to start slowing down as well. As we almost see a 3-wide situation with the 69 in that sandwich.
Yeah, Charles Connor, after that early issue where he almost spun it out, he has set himself off in the right direction. He gets past his teammate and now past Todd Perron, and he's going to take over that position. And, oh, Geist a little squirrely there. But other than that, they're all squared away. And you're right, Christian. Those tires might have leveled out for the 69 and the 5.
Yeah, that's one thing that I love about this track is being able to keep it out on the long run and being able to know how to manage your tires to make them last as long as possible. Because if you can stay out like these guys did, eventually these guys that are passing him, we just seen the 4, he finally made the pass on the 5 and the 69. Well, he's burning up his tires trying to pass those guys who are just kind of leveled out, staying consistent. And right now they're sitting in 6th or at 7th and 8th place. I think that they might be right around there when we come to our next stage break.
Yeah, and it's looking like Ben Coon's actually catching Tyler Waltz, and he's looking to get up to him. Because John Crosby, yet again, has just checked out and is in a whole nother league of his own. But Charles Connor and Jonathan Geis are back there battling each other. They're staying nose to tail, not really trying to point out on each other or anything right now. But as we see, I think the 5 car, the 60, might have made the best play, as they're pretty much learning how their truck handles on the long run, which will happen after the second stage. You will get that really long run.
We see the 60 of Brian Souza. He ends up making that pass, but right before that happened, the 67 ended up getting loose out of turn 2 there and had to go down to the apron, letting the 32 go by.
That was a good job of him. Yeah, it was a good job of Connor being able to maintain as well and not have any kind of massive incident.
And we're back. We just had a quick moment where we had to take a little breather, but back to the excitement. The 40 car did get a little loose again while trying to get to that 54 of Tyler Waltz, but he is reeling him back in again. The 67 made his way past the 4 of Chuck Burley, and he's looking to catch up to his teammate again. But at the same time, the 60 of Brian Souza made his way around Todd Perrant, and now is trying to fight his way up to the 4 of Chuck Burley. So a lot of guys trying to chase someone down, avoid somebody, or potentially make a pass right now.
Yeah, right now in front of Brian Souza in that 60 truck, he's got the 4 Chuck Burley and Charles Connor. They're fighting for position. They might not be nose to tail. They might not be side to side, but the 67 knows that any small mistake right here that he makes, the 4 is going to be able to catch up to him. So both of these drivers are they're racing pretty hard, and I think that them fighting a little bit is going to allow the 60 to catch up, as we see here. Right now, as we're talking about it, they're about 7/10 separation between the 60 and the 4, and I bet within the next 4 or 5 laps, it'll be a lot less than that. Looking back here, the 56, he's going to drop low and try and make a pass on the 5. Like I was telling you guys earlier, I mean, you look at the 69, he's in 8th place. The 5, he's in 10th place. We've only got 15 laps to go. I think these guys are about evened out on their tire wear or getting really close to it.
Yeah, I'd have to say they're pretty close to it. The 5 and the 69 are still having to work hard to maintain the position or make the pass harder, but they're not able to go for passes themselves. They're just kind of maintaining at this point. So, yeah, I think we're very close to that point of sorry about that. A special guest coming up next to me. But it looks like they are trying to maintain position at this point.
Yeah, I think their hope here is trying to get as many stage points as they can, but the 5 gets past, knocking him out of contention for any stage points.
And you know, while we were watching that, the 67, 4, and 60 are right on top of each other. And look at them go to different lines right there. Charles Conner seems to have way better entry into the corner, but Chuck Burley, his exit of the corner is just insane. Look how they stretch out like an accordion for a second, but then on exit, that 4 truck just pulls right up.
Yeah, he's coming out a little bit higher and he's carrying a little bit more momentum into the straightaway. And eventually, I think that's going to help him to get up there and be able to make a pass on Conner.
Now, Charles Conner is the type of guy, when he's running by himself, he runs very consistent laps. But when somebody pulls up to him to try and make a pass, he all of a sudden gets a little faster. So that fight right there, and I know Chuck Burley's thinking this too, he knows that he's going to have to definitely work to get past that blue and gold truck right there.
Yeah, I think these guys right now are kind of sitting in a position to where their trucks just don't have any more left in them. They're not going to be able to make a pass. The only thing that they can count on right now is the car in front of them getting loose, getting into the wall, something to get them off pace. I don't think, you know, they've got the tire left to really catch up and make a successful pass.
And while we're talking, Ben Kuhn is not able to get to Tyler Waltz anymore. They've kind of just stabilized. But at the same time, John Crosby is just still steadily moving away from them. He's up to a 3.9 second gap, but it's steadily increasing every lap, like a tenth or two.
Mark Holloway trying to work his way around Brandon Hinton and push him a little bit further back.
Yeah, it looks like the 5 actually has a little bit left in the tank here. He is able to battle with him, and he was able to get pushed back up into that top 10.
Unfortunately for his teammate Todd Perron, he's still sitting back in 11th and just out of the cut for the stage break points.
Yeah, speaking of, the stage break is coming up here in just a couple. We are 61 laps right now, going to be 62 this time by when the leader comes around like he just did. Also, these guys in the very back, the 11th place car of Todd Perron is in really big jeopardy of getting put a lap down. He's coming into turn 3 right now, and as he's coming into 3, so is the 73.
Yeah, Todd Perront's going to have to definitely try to fend the 73 off and make it to the stage break on that lead lap.
Yeah, well, I mean, just a dominant first two stages by the 73. I mean, he's almost up to a 4-second lead on the rest of the field. So, Ryan, what do you think he's got figured out that the rest of the cars don't?
Honestly, John is just a intelligent driver. He knows lines, and I wish he would tell me how he does what he does, but it's always fun watching. So I have no idea what he's got figured out or how he's doing it, but it's always nice to see. It's a beautiful beer run Saturday, and I love seeing him up front. He deserves it.
Yeah, and even looking at his times, he's got a 4-second lead now. His fastest lap is a 23.002, but his last lap was a 24.087. So he's a second off of his normal pace. And so it's amazing to see that he was able to get a 4-second gap as the caution comes out. That is going to bring us to our stage break, the end of stage 2. John Crosby in the lead, Tyler Waltz P2, Ben Kuhn, Jonathan Geis, Charles Connor rounding out your top 5. We will go to a quick commercial break and be right back here with more Iowa Speedway DES Premier Truck Series.
Hi there, I'm Denise St. Clair, and I am so excited to introduce my co-host for today's exciting event. Former champion of the Albuquerque Open, it's Monica Blake, everybody.
I'm thrilled to be here, Denise. Why don't we get started?
Absolutely.
So no one wants to play with dirty equipment. That's why you have to keep your balls clean. Problem is, bar of soap just doesn't cut it. See? Still dirty.
Well, how can guys clean their balls so that they're more enjoyable to play with?
Well, there's finally a tool that can really get the job done. The Axe Detailer. Cleans your balls. Why don't we start with these small balls? With a soft side for lather, and a rough side for scrubbing, this can make any ball sparkly and new. Go ahead and play with those clean balls, Denise.
Wow. Could play with these balls all day. Let's see if the audience has any questions.
You there.
Can it clean these filthy balls?
Throw those fuzzy suckers down here. Look. Cleans right through the prickly surface.
What about my ball sack?
Just plop it right here and let's get to work. It's a big ball sack.
Monica, it looks like we have time for one more demonstration.
Come out here, Mr. Hackerman.
Monica, can you help me with these dirty balls?
Hank, the Axe Detailer offers such a crazy clean. It can even clean your old balls.
Wow. They look like new.
Incredible. There really is no nook or cranny that thing can't clean. You are a true champion, Monica. If you've got dirty balls that need cleaning, call now and you can get a free detailer. Or just visit the Axe Shower Gel aisle in your closest retailer.
Try to make friends.
Want a Dorito? Hey everyone! The new containing outdoor!
Welcome back here, lap 69 in the books. We are
about to go green. Here on the backstretch, we have the race leader, John Crosby, the 73, dominant performance so far. On his outside, though, we've got the 54 and the 40 starting behind him. This is about the same setup as we've seen coming to the break. It doesn't look like anybody was able to benefit off of pit road. What do you guys think?
You know, oh, what a jump by Crosby. Wow, I'm sorry. I just had to go right into that. Ben Kuhn right behind him. But, you know, only time will tell who really benefited off pit row. You know, I know him and Front came in this time around and got fresh tires and fuel, but man, I think the one that really benefits every time around is Crosby, because he just gets these incredible jumps and just sets the pace for everybody else to try to catch up.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you there. Crosby is just insane. He's got very, very fast truck. And honestly, I think the closest Ben or Tyler's gonna get to him was on a restart. But Ben's pushing right now, and I think he's gonna wear his stuff out way too fast. And I'd like to say he's gonna fall behind, because I'm biased, because John's on my team, but like you said, only time will tell, and it's going to be exciting to see where these individual drivers will take tires next. I think that's what's going to be important in this race. As Ben is
the 40, he gets sideways. There's two of them, single car spins, but the caution comes out here, lap 73 of 190. We'll go to a quick commercial break while these guys get lined up and we get a replay going, and we'll be right back.
First, they're sour.
I'm trying to practice here, guys.
Then they're sweet.
I love you too, Sour Patch Kids.
Sour Patch Kids. Sour, sweet, gone.
First, they're sour. Then they're sweet.
This is delicious.
Sour Patch Kids. Sour, sweet, gone.
First, they're sour. Then they're sweet.
Aw, thanks, guys. Think I'll call him Travis.
Sour Patch Kids. Sour, sweet, gone. First, they're sour.
Welcome back. 75 laps down. Let's go back and look at this replay. We actually had two cars that ended up spinning almost simultaneously, but just half a world apart. Right here, we're looking at the 4. He gets sideways, but if you look up front, the 40 is already beat him to that point and is spinning. He starts spinning right about there, and just had two of them, the 4 of Chuck Burley and the 40 of Ben Kuhn. No damage. These guys are going to be able to live to race another day. Just what do you guys take away from this? You think that was pushing it too hard on cold tires? Do you think that was just pushing it too hard in general? What do you think was going on there?
I'm going to say probably pushing too hard on cold tires. You know, just coming back out of the stage break, caution restart, and you know, 1 lap in. But I mean, hey, it happens, and they did a great job of, you know, keeping it clean. And even though we went caution, nobody got hurt, nobody lost or had any damage to their trucks, and you know, keep on pushing forward from here. It's unfortunate to see Ben Kuhn fall out of the position that he was in behind Crosby there, but I think he'll get back up there. He did it before, and I think he can do it again.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with that. I think he was pushing a little too hard just to keep up with John, because you've seen him on these restarts. He gets an insane amount of space between him and second place, but Ben was holding it for a little bit and probably just pushed a little too hard to stay up with him. And fortunately, no damage, but tires are probably not that great right now.
Yeah, everybody stayed out on this last caution as they are now going to get side-by-side. Lights are about to come off on the pace car. There they go. That is going to signal that we are going to go green this time by. Going to be starting lap 78 of 190 at Iowa. Man, I love short track racing. A lot of good battles. It's a track that is not really driver friendly. You have to know how to work the pedals, but we've seen a lot of these guys doing well out here.
And Tyler Waltz is going to be starting to the outside of the 73. John Crosby want to come around. Charles Connor and Jonathan Geist right behind them, sealing up the top 4.
Look who's up in the top 5 now, the 60 of Brian Souza. It's wonderful to see another beer run teammate up in the top 5.
Ooh, we see the 67. He's given a nudge to that 73 in front of him, trying to, you know, get him to go. He's ready to go racing, and it seems like it didn't work out in his favor as the 54 is able to get up in front. But we're going to get lined out here and go back to some good green flag racing. We're going to have a little bit of battles. The 5, look at him. He's pushed his way all the way back up in the top 5.
Yeah, Brandon Ham just he knows how to work lines, and he knows how to work them to be fast no matter where he's at, and he's gonna, you know, constantly be climbing up to that top 5 and probably even into the top 3 by the end of the race. On the restart, Ben Kuhn was in 9th, and he has already moved his way up into 8th around Todd Perront, and looking to knock on the back door of Mark Holloway.
Yeah, he's sniffing on the inside there, just waiting for any opportunity to dive low, it looks like.
Looking here at the backside of John Crosby, you got that Beer Run Racing logo flying proud on the bed cover of that truck. Right behind him, Tyler Waltz. I mean, he's not really within fighting range right now, but he is staying closer than we've seen anybody else to the 73 tonight. You think he's gonna have enough here?
I don't know that he's gonna have enough. But Tyler, you know, he's also one that'll kind of hang back, be patient, and wait for an opportunity to pounce and not try to burn up tires and fuel too much.
Ben Kuhn now worked his way up to 7th, looking to try and track down the 60 of Brian Souza. He's about 3/10 off, trying to close that gap. I think he might have enough here. He seems extremely eager and hungry here at this track, wanting to get back up there to fight for that win.
Brian Souza just not letting up, not letting him take that spot. It'll be hopefully right here. Ben Kuhn might be able to make a move, and he does. He'll clear the 60, and Hinton's next. I 100% believe Ben Kuhn's going to pass him in the next 2 laps.
Yeah, the only problem I see here is they are now starting 20 laps since their last pit cycle. They're going to start getting wore out here. That 40 of Ben Kuhn, he's been passing people left and right. He's now sitting in P6, and he started right there towards the end. I believe it was 10th or 11th. But You think he's pushing too hard here? You think that he's going to be able to keep this up once he gains all of these positions?
I think he's pushing hard, but I think he's skilled enough and talented enough to even make the worn out tires work, as he's on the inside of Brandon Hinton now, making a pass going into 3.
You know, when we talk about these drivers and their skill and their IQ and everything, part of that is being able to turn your car from a short stint car to a long stint car. If you are able to come into a race and within the first 10 laps make up 5 positions, well, that doesn't mean anything if you're going to run out 35 laps and lose those 5 positions throughout that time. So being able to come out here and decide on how to run, if you're going to try and run consistent, if you're going to try and push early, or if you're going to lay back, let people pass you, and then make it up there towards the end. It's just different to see how a lot of these guys do it differently and effectively. I've for one, have never been a short stint driver. I'm not that good with the going fast and making up a whole bunch of positions. However, I do feel like I am really good at doing the long run, you know, saving on tires, saving on fuel, and that for me helps. If I can stay consistent, it usually benefits me a lot better than trying to push really hard in the beginning.
You know, I'm just the opposite. Short run, I feel more relaxed, but once we hit the long run, I start getting more nervous, and I just don't feel as confident in my tire saving abilities and being able to, you know, play the long game.
Yeah, I'm completely different than both of you. I'm 100% oblivious until my tires are worn, and I sit there and complain and just hope other people are worse than me and I can pass them, but I'm just happy to be involved.
Absolutely.
I just want to say, you know, we're teammates, and so we're in VC during races, and I just want to say that what you just said about yourself is like completely 100% like accurate. It's super funny, and I love when you're racing and you're up in the front, and then you start like, oh, he's passing me. Like my tires are gone. My right front left.
Yeah, I don't notice until it's an issue. That's the only time I care.
Yeah, it's that. I'm gonna push it until I can't push it anymore. It'll be all right.
Just push until there's a caution, if there is one. We'll see. We'll go from there. Ben Kuhn right now, though, up in 5th, looking to pass Jonathan Geist. He keeps sniffing on that inside. It looks like he wants it bad.
You know what I'd really like to see is I'd like to see these 3 teammates, Charles Connor, Jonathan Geist, and Ben Kuhn, work together to catch up with Tyler Baltz and John Crosby.
Yeah, I just feel that unfortunately right now the 40 has one thing on his mind, and that is catching back up to the front. I don't think he is interested in working with any teammates at this point. Right now, he's racing for Team 40. And, you know, I don't blame him. He's been running really good. He has a chance to get back up there to the front. Like, go get it, man.
Yeah, I can just imagine their team chat right now and him just being completely silent. I would be so unhappy if I saw Spun. And knowing him, he's fast. Once he goes silent, he's probably locked in. So, it looks like he's gearing up.
Being a member of TRN with these guys and having been in the team chat with them, Ben's not being quiet. He's yelling at Geist and Connor, get out of my way.
Yeah, man, I always feel like when I'm running by, like if I'm running in front of John or I'm running in front of Brian or Ryan, you know, it's I'm never running in front of Matt because Matt's always way ahead of me. But if I'm ever running in front of a teammate and I know I'm slow, I'll let them know. Hey, I'll go high or I'll go low, wherever you want me to go. And I feel like Beer Run actually is really good at communicating and letting our teams around us know what we're doing.
Yeah, they're at least twice a race will be like, you want high or low? And someone will decide and we'll just let them go by. Ben's looking for any spot on the track to pass right now. Jonathan Geis going low, though. Ben on the inside. Oh, he spins him.
Ooh, Ben gets into the back of his teammate, the 67. He just spins him around, making a really aggressive move coming into turn 1 here on the front stretch. 101 laps down out of 190. We will go to a replay here so we can show you guys what happened. He's staying high here on one teammate, the 32. He gets a little loose. Ben bobbles to the outside and then goes to the inside. Just does not get down low enough. And the 67 gets into him and turns him. And that's just one thing you do not want to see when your teammates. That's unfortunate.
It's such a rough part of the track, too. There's really no control there. So that's an unfortunate accident.
I mean, that right there is almost identical to the Iowa race with the Cup Series where Denny Hamlin took out his teammate, the 54. Yeah, that's just unfortunate, but we're going to come down pit road here. These guys are going to decide on new tires or just get some fuel. I'd take new tires if it was me, but that's just me. We'll go to a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back here in Iowa.
Recent studies have revealed that microplastics are being found in human testicles, raising concerns.
You can never
about the
trust these
potential impact
studies.
on male reproductive health.
Who's hungry?
That's it. Keep going.
Well, you're so lucky he's naturally buoyant and you don't have to watch him.
Is it Bob? No, he doesn't need sunscreen or anything. He just gets softer as he warms up.
Bob, you're leaking.
Bob can't play. If he gets hit, he'll dent.
Don't let plastic end up in landfills. Reduce, reuse, recycle.
What the hell was that?
That's the new commercial for plastic. We think if we humanize plastic, people won't think it's so bad.
Yeah, I don't know. It made me uncomfortable.
Yeah, I just felt bad for it.
Marketing approved that?
No, we fired marketing.
I feel like it's missing action.
Yeah, maybe there could be like a chase or a shootout.
Explosions. Maybe the Matrix thing.
Maybe his plastic gets stronger as he gets older.
Maybe he gets revenge, you know, to the people that were mean to him.
He's got a gun!
Who?
Bob from marketing!
Cover me, I'll get to the side. I can't believe this has happened. Here they come.
Get down, get down!
It's Bob from marketing.
Get down! Watch out!
Oh, hell yeah. Now that's what I'm talking about. So that whole first half was like an origin story, right?
Should we green?
And we are back with some racing action about to go green. And I think we noticed that number 73, John Crosby, may have gotten a penalty coming down pit lane.
Yeah, absolutely. I just went and spoke with him down there. And he ended up getting a speeding on pit road penalty, trying to beat off the 54 on pit road, and ended up having to get an EOL. So he is now starting the last car here on the longest line, and we're going to have to see him go from leading this race all night by 4 seconds to trying to move his way all the way back up.
And so far, he's doing a really good job. He has jumped up quick and now looking to make a move around Todd Perron, trying to push it 3 wide coming into turn 3.
Well, I was about to ask you guys if you think this is really going to affect him, but obviously, as we're seeing right now, not really. He is absolutely cooking right now, regardless of that EOL.
Yeah, I do think, though, he is going to have to be smart here. We don't want to see him make a mistake like the 40 did earlier when the 40 got a little hungry and got into his teammate. Oh, as the 32 gets spun around there on the front stretch. He's sideways coming across the start finish. Or we'll go back, look at a replay of the 32 getting loose out of the turn there. See what happened. Here he is, Jonathan Geist.
Ben Kuhn again?
Yeah. Teammates again.
Oh, that's going to be a conversation for later.
That's unfortunate. That's not the 40's fault at all. He was a mile away. Just the 32 got loose, and Ben Kuhn was just there on the bottom and didn't have time to get out of that one.
That is absolutely unfortunate for Ben. Probably 100% has front end damage after that. It's going to hurt him.
Yeah, it looked like Geist just kind of washed up high on the line and trying to get back in, maybe had a little too much throttle and got sideways and come down right in front of Ben, and Ben had nowhere to go except for through the door.
Yeah, but luckily, I think that is going to be a good issue for the 73, something he wanted to see out of that. He's now currently sitting in 3rd place after just starting at the rear of the field. But we're going to go to a very, very quick commercial break, and we'll be back here in Iowa with this exciting, thrilling premier truck race.
This looks great. This must be yours. I found it on the kitchen table.
Thanks.
Mommy, have you seen my hamster?
Well, isn't he asleep in its cage?
Have you seen my hamster then?
No.
But honey, go upstairs and look thoroughly. I mean, sure, probably behind the bed like where you found him last time.
Okay.
Welcome back, friends, fans, and family of DESI Racing, to the Premier Truck Series here at Iowa Speedway. 111 laps down. Coming into turn 3, we're about to go green here, Ryan. Looking at the field, the 73, John Crosby, already worked his way back up into 3rd place. And then we have the 5 going to be starting in P2, and the new race leader, Tyler Walton, at 54. What do you think exactly we're going to see here? We got less than 80 laps to go. I mean, what are you expecting to happen?
I think... Oh, you can go. My bad.
No, go ahead, Ryan.
I think, honestly, the 73 of John Crosby getting that EOL, I think that was just the John Crosby show going to commercial, and I think it's back on now. I think, obviously, he's going to get back up to the front because Tyler kept up with him a little, just not as fast as him. And Hinton, unfortunately, fast, but not as fast as John. I think he's going to make these passes in the next 1 or 2 laps and be back up at front.
Yeah, it's all going to come down to this restart. If this restart does not go in his favor, if for some reason the bottom line is not able to get fired off as good as that top line, I think we might see a different story. I do think we can see the 73 definitely get back up into the lead. I just think this restart's going to dictate how soon he gets back up there. As the pace car goes off, the bottom line takes off 54 with a huge start, but the 73 does not let him go. The 54 changing lanes before the start finish line there on lap 112.
Ben Kuhn up in fourth, looking to pass on the inside of the 5. Let's see if he can do it in this turn, at least get under him.
Yeah, I spoke with Ben Kuhn during the commercial, and he said that he did not have any damage to his car, so he was very fortunate there that he come out with no damage.
We have John back up in front, Ben in third now, so leaders back to the rear from the start of the race. It's going to be an exciting finish. 60 of Brian under Sean Dion.
Ben Kuhn dropping low, trying to get around the 54 of Tyler Waltz, and he's going to do it.
Definitely seem like he's pushing it hard there, trying to get around that 54. And as you called it there, 2 laps down after coming back, and the 73, John Crosby, is up in front.
Tyler Waltz and Ben Kuhn with a heck of a battle right there for second and third, and almost getting into each other a couple of times there. But the persistence pays off, and Ben Kuhn finally gets around and has worked his way back into second.
Oh, he's spinning.
He gets loose.
Oh, let's see if everybody can get around him there. That is gonna bring the caution out again here. Lap 117, the 40 getting loose and coming to a dead stop on track. Man, unfortunately, he's gonna have to work his way all the way from the back to the front again. Not sure how many cars passed him after the yellow comes out, but definitely unfortunate for him.
There's too much throttle coming out of that curve and got sideways.
Yeah, I battled here with him. Who was it? Or when was it? I can't remember how long ago. Anyways, battling here on this track is difficult to do. I mean, you really want to be able to pop off and get that speed coming out of the turn, but if you do, and you do a little too much, that's what happens to you. But as these guys are getting lined up, got a couple people, just about everybody electing to go down pit road. We're going to go to a quick commercial break and be right back.
And we are back with DES Premier League Racing. John Crosby in the lead. Ben Kuhn, unfortunate circumstance, kind of got loose, took himself out. Good on him for just parking it and staying there, not getting in anyone's way. Christian, do you think he has what it takes to get back up front? We've seen it multiple times this race. Do you think he has it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that he has the speed and he has the capability, but one thing that I see a lot happening, and, you know, I've even done it myself, is you're running good, you're running in the front, you have a mistake, you work your way into the back, then you come out and you push really hard and you show your speed and your abilities out there, and you work your way almost all the way back up to the front. But then you make a mistake because individual skills and the amount that you are pushing when you're flustered need to match. And when you push it really hard, trying to recover from your mistakes, more mistakes are likely to happen. So I think he has the ability to. We just need to see him be able to go out there and execute.
And as you're saying that, Ben has jumped all the way back up into fourth place. He is holding that bottom line. He is keeping everybody else on the high line and making his way back around. But Crosby and Tyler Waltz are just in another zip code from the rest of the pack.
Yeah, they've kind of just ran away with this race. I mean, it's going to be just them two fighting for it. Oh, the 73, he gets a little bit loose. He doesn't get sideways, though, but that's definitely going to give the 54 a little bit more time gained on him there. Now he's going to be whispering in his back bumper.
I'm looking out the front window of Tyler Waltz's Mountain Dew car there. He's up on his bumper, and you can still see Crosby just getting loose coming through these turns.
Yeah, and this is going to be unfamiliar territory tonight for the 73 of John Crosby. I mean, he's been by himself for most of this race, just just beating everybody by literally 4 seconds between him and people behind him. And now he's got the 54 whispering sweet nothings into his back end here and just trying to make something happen. And I don't know if the 73 is even paying attention to him or if he's going to be mirror driving here for a while.
And as that is said, Ben Kuhn has now moved into third place. And man, Tyler and Crosby got real close to each other there.
Yeah, it looks like Tyler's getting great entries into 1 and 3, but exits, John's got better than him.
And that number 40 truck of Ben Kuhn coming around quick.
Here's some of the spots where the 40 needs to be really careful. He's going to be getting really comfortable with his car. He's going to know where he needs to go, and he knows that he has nobody around him to fight for position. So that's going to make him want to push even harder, and that can be dangerous. You know, there's a saying that I forgot what the saying is. I'll get back with you on that one. But once you get too comfortable, it can get dangerous for you.
The 54 getting loose right there. Coming out of 2, it looked like. John pulling away. Ooh, getting in the wall, getting a little loose too.
Ben is closing that door pretty handily, but he's still 1.8 back, but I mean, he has closed that gap quite a bit. But I think what's going to hurt Ben Kuhn is the fact that Waltz is kind of off pace with Crosby a little bit now, and it's allowing Crosby to pull away, and it's keeping them from fighting each other, which is kind of holding Ben back where he's at.
Yeah, for sure. And as we see back here, we got a little pack. That's going to be 4th through 6th here. 4th through 7th. Yeah, 7th. And these guys are nobody really trying anything. I think these guys are all showing really good patience. Not much going on, just kind of running. And as I say that, the 32, he looks like he's trying to get his nose out underneath the 3 coming here into turn 3.
Yeah, Jonathan Geist got a little bit loose there, trying to make that pass, and had to fall back and pull back up on that top line and regroup himself here. But Geist is a very patient driver, and you know he settles into a pocket until it's time for him to make his move.
Yeah, and the 60 running a phenomenal race, sitting up here in the 5th position. Brian Souza just not letting anybody get away from him, also not letting anybody pass. He seems kind of comfortable in this position, but kind of a passively defensive driving style here for him tonight.
Yeah, and I'm glad to see Brian Souza sitting up in the 5th spot. He's such a humble driver, and you know, just all around class act guy. And it's great to see him sitting up there in the top 5.
Him and Hinton both are just, it's practically the same guy racing right now in 4th and 5th, and they're both long run kings. They're sneaky. They wait for stuff to happen instead of forcing stuff, and it's nice to see both of them still in the top 5. .32 looking on the inside. Oh, he's spinning.
Ooh, he gets sideways and gets all the way down into the infield.
It is a single car incident. He gets down to the apron. He is safe. Everybody else is safe. There's going to be no caution come out. And luckily for him, he didn't get any damage, but just significantly off pace here for a little bit and going to be sitting there in the last position.
Unfortunate for Jonathan, guys, because he's been running such a good race tonight.
John Crosby just pulling away. Just like usual business tonight. John Crosby show out in front.
Ooh,
getting loose hitting the wall.
Double hit on the wall, backside getting real loose there.
I might have jinxed him. Seems like turn 4 of this track is John Crosby's worst enemy right now. Does not seem like he has that turn figured out.
Coming around lap 142, be 143 when Crosby crosses the line of 190. Christian, you think they're going to have to make another pit for fuel and tires?
Yeah, I think these guys are going to have to pit at least one more time. I mean, we're looking at the leader, John Crosby. He's on 24 laps since his last stint. If he tries pushing it out now, he's going to have 57 or 47 laps. That'll put him at over 60 laps on a tank, and that's just not going to be possible here. I think these guys can run about 60, 65 on a full tank. So I think a lot of these guys are going to be just shy.
You know, he got loose, hit the wall there, you know, a couple times with the backside of the truck, but he has extended back out to an almost 3-second gap between him and Tyler Waltz.
Yeah, I think him pushing that hard and getting loose is what's keeping him out in front too. Is when we watched Tyler go around when the camera was on him for a second, he was taking it nice and easy. He wasn't pushing the issue or anything. He was just running his line. being cautious and safe, but John is just turning and burning. He's trying to get out of there.
Yeah, and the cars behind him here, you've got the 54 Tyler Walsh and Ben Kuhn in that 40. They're about 1.2 seconds apart from each other. I don't think that this state in the game here at 27 laps in, I don't think that Kuhn's got enough to catch up and try and really as he gets loose right there. I don't know if he's got enough tire there to catch up to the 54.
Yeah, I think we just saw the perfect example of him not having enough tire to catch up, him getting loose out of 4, just like John Crosby.
Yeah, Ben has really battled hard trying to stay up here in the top 3, and that puts a wear on your resources. But making the mistakes that he's made tonight, and getting sideways a couple of times, the self spins, that plays on your mind as well. And I know when I jumped down and was talking to him about his damage to his truck after that incident with teammate Jonathan Geist, he was being real hard on himself, but I think he settled himself down and just doing a good job of holding on to third.
Yeah, if I was in his situation, I would not be where he's at right now. I'd still be in the back. So just him having multiple incidents where it's just unfortunate for him and still getting back up front is just incredible to see a driver do.
That's the one great thing about these premier races, and this is why Christian and I love calling these races and the excitement that they bring. These guys are the best of the best from DES. They all are very composed drivers, and they all have their own skill sets that make them great, and it's just exciting to get to watch them put it on the track each week.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Sometimes watching these races or even broadcasting with you guys is more fun than actually running. Sometimes. But it's always fun to watch these guys drive because, like you said, they're the best of the best for DES, and it's just fun to see. It's enjoyable. It's good racing.
Sousa sitting on the back bumper of Brandon Hinton. Does he have enough gas in the tank to be able to try to make a pass on Brandon?
Right now, I don't think anybody has enough anything to really make a successful pass. If they do, it's going to be a slow and tough. These guys are going to have to cut down to the bottom, get on the inside, and then try and keep it down there without washing up with these tires being worn. And so I think the 60 and the 5 right here, they're doing the right thing. They're just being patient. They're just kind of racing, knowing that they're going to have to come down pit road one more time, and then they can battle it out from there.
Yeah, I think both of them are just content with being where they're at. Knowing Brian, he's a very, not safe, but he's a very self-aware driver, and he knows what he's capable of. And I think he's just waiting it out until the last 20 laps. He's just happy to be where he's at, and he's just going to hold it there until it's time to go. Looks like they're kind of running identical lines, except for the exit there.
Yeah, so I find that that's when I get some of my best laps. I fall in behind somebody and I follow their line, to learn the lines a little bit better. And, I just get into a rhythm of doing that and run some of my best time.
Yes, I do the same, especially if I'm in the same spot as Brian right now, behind Brandon Hinton. That's the best place to be. You learn a lot about what you can do with the race car or truck in that situation, because Hinton just knows how to race. Hinton getting a little bit of a gap though between him and Brian.
We're just a couple of laps away from hitting 160, which will put us 30 laps away from the end of the race. Christian, what time frame do you think these guys will start coming down pit row?
I think that these guys will probably try to push it out as far as they can, and if they do that, they've got about another 20 laps on them. So if they're gonna pit, they should probably actually pit sooner rather than later. I would like to pit around lap 150, but we've already passed that, so maybe 170 for these guys.
Yeah, so I was thinking 165, 170.
As we got passed for position here, we've got Sean Dion getting passed by the 56 and the 67. 67 made a little contact there with him, got a little bit of door into him, and he's significantly off pace. It looks like the 4 might even be trying to make a move on the 3.
He's definitely on the inside. Sean Dion going very, very high, making that pass extremely easy. Getting into the wall, coming out of 2.
Yeah, it looks like Sean Dion's lost a little bit of speed, and everybody's just kind of able to capitalize on that.
Yeah, I think we're going to end up seeing the 4 now that he passed him. The 3 rather is going to probably come down pit road here pretty soon. I think he might call it here within the next 7 laps, 5 laps.
We're getting a little loose there coming out of the turn. And Kuhn gaining some ground.
Right here, we've got the 63. He's got a 6-second gap on second place, and he is just right here behind the 11th place car, the 32, Jonathan Geist. He's sneaking up on his back door, looking to put the first car a lap down.
Ben Kuhn is gaining some ground on Tyler Waltz.
Oh, Ben Kuhn getting loose.
He had him right there in his grips and just throttled it.
Exactly what I have been talking about. He's got the speed. He's got the ability. Every time he catches up, it's just the hunger does not meet the I don't know how to word that. He just, those mental mistakes like that are what's going to get him every time. I mean, he just gotta try and show a little bit of patience here as the 73 finally puts a car a lap down, passing the 11th place truck, Jonathan Geist, and now he's going to try and pick off the 69. I think these guys need to get pitting here pretty soon, wouldn't you think?
I was just thinking the same thing. I mean, we're coming along on coming around on lap 169. You know, they've got to be starting to get low on fuel. I think of the movie Top Gun when I say that, and I think of Maverick and Goose. We're getting way low on fuel, man.
Scary situation there for John Crosby and Todd Perrant as he bounces off the wall a little bit. I don't know about you guys, but if I was in the situation John's in, I'm feeling extremely nervous to be near the back of the pack. I despise seeing lap traffic or catching up because anything can happen.
That's one of those you have to take everything into account and try to decide what you want to do. Do you want to get by these guys, or do you want to just coast back behind them because passing them is doing nothing for you? For me, I think getting around them is a smart idea, with them being able to catch up to that lap traffic like they have been able to. If he just tries to hang out and stay behind him, that's putting him in jeopardy of getting caught by Tyler Waltz. So getting around him for him is pretty essential. Now he's just got to worry about when he's going to pit.
Yeah, that definitely gives him a little bit of buffer between him and the 54, but it's always scary going past people that are a little bit slower.
Yeah, that's why for me, if I see the race leaders coming up in my mirror and I know that they're about to lap me and they're running faster than I am, I'm going to take either the high line or the low line. I'm going to call it out to them and tell them, hey, I'm taking low, go high, go on and pass, and I'll just kind of ease out of the throttle and let them have it. That way, you know, I don't cause an incident by trying to, you know, stay ahead of them.
You're certainly a better aim than me. Top 173, almost 174. Nobody's pitted yet in this last stretch. Now, if you guys had to place bets here, who do you think is going to pit first? Do you think someone's going to try to undercut John, or John's going to go down first?
Well, that's hard to say. You know, back in a prior caution that we had, everybody saw Crosby start to pit, and everybody, I mean, the entire field followed him in. That's probably what they're waiting to see, is what is the race leader going to do?
I think one of these back marker cars that are lapped down might elect to pit first. Once, you know, they see that the leader has enough speed to pass him like that, they might start trying to reevaluate what they're doing here and be thinking that it might be time to go down and get some new tires.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Jonathan Geist is probably thinking that himself right now.
If I was Tyler Waltz, I'd probably, if I needed to pit, if he needs to pit to make it to the end, I would pit right now. Right now, before the leader does.
If Tyler Waltz, Ben Kuhn, Brandon Henn, any of those three, you know, undercut it and get the fresher tires to try to, you know, get a good enough jump out on them.
54 getting loose there on the front stretch.
I think Tyler's starting to realize that he's due some tires there.
Starting to seem more and more like a war of attrition. It's the battle of who's got what left.
Yeah, this is what makes this track, being a smaller track, so much fun. Is it's not just the whole time battling people, you know, being potentially taken out because there's so many cars around you all the time. It turns into more of a thought game, you know, sticking to a game plan, sticking to a strategy that you know is gonna benefit you better. That's one way that teams help so much, is talking to each other on when you're gonna pit.
Well, speaking of pitting, 7 laps, or well, 8 laps to go, and still these guys are, you know, staying out on the track. Nobody's pit yet.
I think these guys might be able to make it. 8 laps to go here. We'll find out.
It would be a shame to see any of these guys, especially the top 5, get down to the last lap and run out of fuel.
John getting loose on the front stretch coming out of 4 right there.
Welcome back, DES fans, friends, and family. I got some news. I just spoke with Ben Kuhn, TRN teammate, and he was saying that they're looking at about 2.5 laps to the good. So most of these guys should be able to finish it out on these last 4 laps without having to pit for fuel.
We do have one car coming down pit road. I did not see who it was. Look real quick here. It is the 56 of Mark Holloway. He's pitting. He must have pitted earlier than the rest of these guys and just really need to go down and get fuel if he's pitting with only 3 to go.
Yep, possibly skipped out on that last caution and didn't go down and take any fuel. Hearing somebody say their tires are flat worn out.
Yeah, most of these guys are 70 laps on these tires. They are really stretching it here. We are on the last lap. White flag is in the air. Leader coming out of the turn, going down the back stretch with a dominant win. 10-second lead here coming out of the final turn, and our race winner is going to be Beer Run's own, the 73 John Crosby, followed by, well, not followed by anybody yet. Here comes second place finishing right now Tyler Waltz with Ben Kuhn in rapid succession. Brandon Hinton in P4, Brian Souza P5, Charles Connor, Chuck Burley, Todd Perrant, Sean Dion, and Jonathan Geist rounding out your top 10.
I figured it was going to be an exciting finish. I didn't realize it was going to be exciting in a different way than what we're used to. It was exciting in the fact of the anticipation of when are they going to pit.
About to be joining us is the third place finisher, the 40 of Ben Kuhn. Man, that was a wild race for you. We seen you doing really well in the front. You gridded P2. You had a lot of speed here tonight. And then we see you make a little bit of a mistake there. You kind of spun out, ended up having to go all the way to the back, redid it, and just seemed to work your way all the way up to the field. Just couldn't break that top 3, man. Talk to us about your mindset during all of this.
In all reality, I thought I had a good enough place for like where I was at. I thought at least would have had second, but the stuff that happened with Charles Connor, stuff that happened with Charles Connor would be like looping it, like when it's right behind Crosby. Yeah, it was just unfortunate mistakes, and like when I was right behind Charles Connor, I was barking and telling, I was like, "Hey, I'm going to pass on the inside," and then contact was made, and it was just unfortunate. But yeah, I felt like I had a really good run out there tonight, and just unfortunate mistakes, just left and right. But I'm proud for third place. I just wish I could have had second, but I knew I couldn't catch up to Cross because, like how you said, came all the way from basically from the back and worked my way up to the front just to get third, and I'm proud for it. And I just wish I could have gotten Tyler Waltz. I mean, I had like a lap and a half to the good, and I was just thinking to myself, man, I hope he runs out of fuel. But the tires were basically gone.
Well, congratulations, Ben. Glad to see you up there in the top three. Glad to have you up here in the booth for an interview, TRN teammate. I do want to ask you one thing though. Take me through what was going through your mind when Geist got sideways and you were looking at his door.
I was hoping, please, no damage, for the love of God, because basically all the cautions, I was basically either it or I was around or involved in some form of fashions tonight, and it was just one of those things I wish, Vince, I wish it didn't happen, but yeah, when I saw guys going across my front, I was like, oh no, please, not now. Because I thought it was going to be a really bad wreck right between me and Geist, and I was like, all three TRN drivers tonight have some form of damage out there tonight. But yeah, me and Geist somehow never had damage through that contact either, so it was interesting to see.
Yeah, now with a race like this, you had a couple times where you self-spun. You had that incident with your own teammate, the 67, that looked almost identical to the actual Cup race with Denny Hamlin getting into his teammate and spinning him out. With all of that happens, what is the mindset going forward with the next race next week, between just yourself knowing how you had a potentially race-winning truck to just mental mistakes? Is that going to carry over to next week, or are you just going to be able to regroup and get back in it with your teammates?
I mean, I don't think it's going to cause me any going to carry over at all, at least in my mind, because I apologize to Charles. I felt really bad for it. He said, it's all good, dude, stuff happens. I was like, if I'd said something like probably a couple seconds earlier, that incident never would have happened. But stuff like that happens in racing, where contacts happen between teammates, and it was just one of those things of just couldn't say anything fast enough, just say, hey, I'm going to pass on the inside. But I don't think it's going to carry over at all. And look at schedule, it's going to be Sonoma, so hopefully I got good enough pace there. I'm happy with my road performance in general.
Absolutely, man. Looking forward to seeing you back up here in the booth. Congratulations on your P3, man, and you have a good night.
You too.
Ryan, next we are bringing up our second place finisher. And here he is, Tyler Waltz, the 54, running a fantastic race, man. You fought tooth and nail to stay where you were, and then it just seemed like that long run there at the end, it just kind of slowed down for you to where you didn't really have much going on in front of you or behind you. Just walk us through how you got to where you were, and then what your thought processes were, on that long run going.
Well, you went green after that last caution, and I said, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go try to compete with him a little bit. I got loose one time, and I said, I'm gonna go with second. That was the whole thought process.
Tyler, how did you feel at one point? You had number 40 Ben Kuhn right there in your mirror and trying to make a pass. How did you feel when you saw him kind of get loose and cut sideways?
That was, I think he had done it, looped himself 2 or 3 times already. So I was like, if he catches to me, he's probably going to make another mistake. So I just got to stay consistent.
Well, you definitely did that, and congratulations on the second place finish.
I appreciate you, fellas. Great broadcast.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Good to see you up here. It's amazing to see how these drivers are able to perform week in and week out. And speaking of Ryan, this is one of our teammates. He has done it again. I don't know how he does it. We're going to have to do a post-race inspection on his truck here in a little bit.
Hey, calm down, calm down.
But the 73, John Crosby, Ryan, go ahead and take it from here.
John, fantastic win, by the way. Congratulations. It's always nice to witness the John Crosby show in action. Turn 4, this race was really not your friend towards the end there. What was your mindset knowing there's people behind you, especially before you got to lap traffic and you were getting loose in 4? Like, what are you thinking about?
Not losing it. Trying to keep it off the wall. And just being patient on throttle. It's kind of hard to do here because you think you're ready to go and you get on the throttle and then it's like, yeah, no, you're gonna spin out. But yeah, that was probably the biggest thing here, and kind of that was what was going through my mind. So just not spinning it.
Man, that was just a fantastic performance. You've been doing this here a lot lately. You won with 10.2 seconds between you and second place. You ended up naturally lapping like the last 3 or 4 cars on the field. I mean, after tonight, I see, your middle initial W. I'm going to start calling you the John Wick Crosby because you're out here just murdering folks.
Well, I appreciate it. No, I don't know why this track and I get along so much. I don't really understand it, and people ask me, hey, what's your secret? I really don't have one. I just go with it.
Well, Don, I want to say congratulations on get another win in the Premier Series, and I've got to ask one question, and this is kind of a comical question, but when you got that penalty for speeding in the pits, trying to get out too quick, and you had to take the EOL. Was that just the John Crosby show going to commercial?
No, it was. I don't know. I didn't think I was speeding, but because I think Tyler beat me out of the pits, and he was actually like on my bumper when we were coming in. So I don't know how it happened, but it is what it is. But luckily we could make it to the front, no problem.
You had no problem making it to the front.
It was fun for a minute.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Congratulations on another dominant performance. I feel like we're going to be seeing you up here very soon. And next week you got Sonoma. But for us here up in the booth, John, appreciate you being up here with us. And Ryan, amazing step in for you tonight. Can't wait to have you up here in the booth with us more often. John, congratulations on your win. But that's going to do it for us here with DES iRacing. Stop by. Tomorrow night, we have the NASCAR Cup Series Next Gen Cars going to be racing at, where are we tomorrow? Oh, Homestead, Miami. That's one of my favorite tracks. Going to be real interesting. For you guys out there and from us up here, we appreciate it, and see ya.
Good night.